So I'll start with the 15-minute arc as it is at the moment. Yeah. So you can see that the divergence lines that I was focused on earlier on, and the top one is broken through, and I'm still in my short for a small amount more time. Because this looks like the 3 scoops, 1, 2, 3, and then the 3, 4, 5 to blow off top is on this small impulse here. Yeah. Now again, there's the bigger one, and it does look like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's just a question of how far is it going to go. So that's what I'm looking at. Is I think the natural target after, if it breaks this, if this wasn't a 5 and it's going to break above it, the natural target after that would be 34.5. So if I put a fib on this drop down, yeah. So there, and again you can see the 786. You can see why I would have thought previously that this is the peak, and here we are breaking it again. Yeah, it's just a question of is this it, or is this a consolidation for something much bigger? That's part of the challenge. Yeah, so I'm looking to see how this behaves. I won't be staying there for much longer. Is if it doesn't start turning. Yeah. So one of the things I'm looking at is the EMAs here, yeah. On the 12-hour, is the 12-hour turned, and it looked like it was doing a reversal, and then we got this, and it broke the 20 here. Looked like it was getting rejected at the 20. So it's not a good sign that it broke the 20, but it hasn't clearly got above it yet. But still, it's breaking it. When I click down to the 4-hour, again, you can see it's breaking the 55 here. So it would need to turn pretty fast, because you can see the 20 coming underneath. The bit that makes it look like it's going to pump is here's the 3-hour, and the 20 is coming up to the 55 here. And again, you can see it. You can see it that it looks very pumpy. And then the same with you can see the 2 hours crossed over. The 1 hour is crossed over. So, and then as this was going along, is you could see along the way the 15-minute and the 15-minute tried to break it a couple of times. 5-minute tried to break it a couple of times, lots of times actually. Hasn't managed to do it. So now we're here, and again, it looks like a blow off top. So it really depends on what happens here about my decision about staying in any longer or not. You know, is why else am I staying in? Boy, this looks like it's going to go. Why are you staying in? I am mindful, and Mihaela pointed this out earlier on. This pattern here. Mihaela, was this pattern, isn't it?
That was it.
Yeah. This pattern here, yeah. I'm mindful that it's mimicking this pattern here, where it gets a drop, retraces back up, and then continues on down. Yeah. So I'm mindful that this is playing out in a smaller version of it, but a similar version playing out here. Yeah.
The 4-hour or
On
the
the
2-hour.
on the 4-hour. Okay. Where is it now, Mihaela? Where is the example?
That was it.
That's
Yeah.
the data. Yes, there. So this is an example of it. So I'm just waiting to see. Being patient. This is another example of it. So I give it a little while longer, but not much. I'd say 34 and a half. 34 and a half would be my limit. If it starts breaking, if it starts breaking 34 and a half, I think it's time to step away. Yeah. One of the things it's done is it has, on the 12 hour, here's the 12 hour in the EMAs, it's come up and it's just wicked up to the Bollinger. It hasn't touched it yet, so it's wicked up to it here. Again, it looks like it wants to go, you know. But this is the thing, it always looks like it wants to go until it turns around and it does a drop. So, and there's the 1 hour. There's the 1 hour. So that's it. That's really the simplicity of what I have to show you right now. Is I know the New York session has started, and oftentimes is they'll give it a pump in one direction before they turn it around and go in the next direction. So they clearly gave a pump up on this one. So the question is, are we going to get the retrace? It looked pretty good for the return here, the retrace, and again the VWAP broke. So one more try here. If it doesn't work, again I'll cut my losses and I'll step back and I'll watch to see it show itself where it wants to go. Yeah. Is there anything else that I need to go through here? No, not really. Right now, that's just where it is. It's right where it is. Here's my chart. And again, you can see the white support and resistance line. So again, there's the wicks through. It hasn't done anything special wicking up too far above. So we'll see. We'll see what this wants to do. Yeah. So that's it. You start to see it floating above here. You can assume that I'm coming out, and we'll see how far it wants to go. So that's it. I suppose one more thing is if I do come out again, the question is how far does it want to go? Is if I was looking to enter again, because potentially we could be going for the much bigger pump, where it wants to head up to possibly around 38.5. It might even want to go up to around the 45 mark, up around here. Yeah. I would want to see. I'd want to see it get above 35. I'd want to see it establish a foundation here, and then I would look for my long entry. Yeah. Again, if it got up around here and it started to capitulate and it started to reverse, again I'd look for my short. So that's the space that I'm in. Is do I come out? We'll see how this behaves. If it wants to go further and I come out, again I'll watch for either a solid foundation for a bigger pump, or eventually it does get exhausted, it turns around and it starts to go down. So that's really the space that I'm in right now. Yeah. So that's it. Straightforward. I'll hand you over to Mihaela, and she'll go through Bitcoin and Ethereum. Let me just change the charts. And there we go. I think Michael was asking earlier on about the training sessions as well. You'll notice we're posting one training session a week. We're posting some that we have backdated that we haven't posted, but we will be doing live training session as well. Yeah. So they're absolutely still going on. Yeah. As well as the Q&As with you guys anytime after these sessions or anytime during the week. Is anytime you have a question or a conversation you want to have, just let us know, and you can have that access that we can keep in touch. Yeah. So that's how we plan to move forward. Yeah. But for now, here's Mihaela. Chat to you later.
Hi guys, just give me one moment to refresh all of these lovely charts. Changing from one computer to the other, it just disconnects and then I'll have to update on the other one. Okay, so here we are. And I'll start with Bitcoin at the wedge that it's been moving in. Again, I am in my short. I actually use this lift in IDCA to bring my position entry a little bit higher. this is a huge swing, and it will need to correct sooner or later. So I brought my entry point a little bit higher, and I put a limit order to close 80% of it at the 382 correction. So I'm gonna be left with my initial position amount. And the reason why I'm doing that is that I'm minimizing my risk and I'm improving my entry point. So I could still stay in and check to see what it's going to do here. But by the way this is holding support, to me, it looks like it really wants to go up and challenge this line up here that I have, this invalidation line, which is the support and resistance of this channel. If I am to bring this a little bit lower, if I'm to bring it like that, I could do that as well, and here it would be. So it could still go up and challenge the top line of the wedge, the top line of this structure, and get rejected. Whatever it chooses to do, I believe there is still a correction to be made of this swing, and that's why when I DCA'd not to maximize the full profits on the down, but to actually lower the risk. So again, that's a possibility. When you get used to DCAing and controlling your position size and improving your entry points, this is an option. But I do believe that there is at least a correction to be made to the area of 20,000, and then from that point onwards, maybe continuing upwards or continuing downwards. The same lines of support and resistance are still in play, and I've added to them this bottom line for this wedge that it's moving in. As you can see, this wedge is quite acutely going upwards. There's a lot of RSIs that need to correct to the downwards before it moves higher. So again, there should be a slight correction. If you are in a short, I would make sure you have the top line. Now that I moved it, it's at around 22 grand, but I would make sure it covers just in case there is a spike. This level, the 23,100, I think would be a good level to cover. But again, I am being more on the cautious side in terms of having the the liquidation covering a particular spike up. So we are looking good for support on both the smaller time frames and the bigger time frames. So Bitcoin at the moment is holding the 200 on the 1 hour. I could get rid of this, and I could get rid of this as well. Yeah. So we are holding the support on the 200 MA on the 1 hour. The 5 is coming up. The midline of the Bollinger is coming up. Again, I am not seeing a strong pushback from here, so we might see New York hold this range for a while and then come down towards the end of the session. I think that will be a very torturous journey to be on today trading, but it is what it is. I've seen that happen. I've seen this range being kept here at the top along the 200, and then towards the end of the session they will correct on the 100 maybe, or the 50. So 200, 500, or 19 or 20. So 20k 5 or 20k would be possible short. How can I say short retracement? So if we shift, I'll shift to the 4 hour just for you to see what I mean. just
That's not small for this.
okay.
You need to
There.
deal with this.
Yeah. I have to get used to it. Okay, so on the 4 hour we have the 5 crossing over the 50, and I'll show you what I mean by the short retracement and then holding it. This might be 3, be coming back here for test, and then another test up here, going up here in this big 4 hour, in this big 4 hour V-shaped recovery, because I am looking at this as a possible 3 levels up. So we've gone through the first level, this would be the second level, and this would be, I'm going to put this arrow because it's okay. I'll change the color so that it stays at least on the same state. Okay. So I am looking at this. If it keeps the 20K level, this could go up to the 100. And even higher, the 200. The 200 MA on the 4 hour would be a higher target at 28K, but the first one would be at 25, provided, of course, we hold the 20. So we'll take it step by step. Now this level has technically been tested, but you can see here, you can see on the left how long it took for it to consolidate and come down one more time. I believe we're gonna need a little bit more time to consolidate here. Now I believe it's again, it's a personal assumption. It might just break through the 23K and go up to the 25. It might do that. It has the support on the 4 hour, it has the support on the 1 hour, and most importantly, it looks like it has the support on the day. The 5 MA is below it, and it looks like it does have that support. So if we're looking at what's in front of us, we have the support, we have the volume as well kicking in for that. We've seen some nice increase in volume here as this happened. What we would need would be a correction, because the RSIs need to cool down. Both the 1 hour and the 4 hour RSIs need a bit of a breather, so we might see a retracement towards the end of New York. And I would be careful if I'm in a short. That would be my time to consider exiting that short, depending on how that level gets broken, and then seeing again tomorrow what sort of structure I have in front of me. Now for Ethereum has done a higher high. Ethereum has done a higher high, and it's still like Bitcoin in a rising wedge formation. It threatened to drop here. It actually broke the bottom line, but then came up into it. Now, same thing as for Bitcoin. We haven't reached the invalidation level for the downward move. So at the moment, this is a swing. Ethereum's move is quite neat in the sideways channel. So this is a swing in this sideways channel, and we've had so far. I'm gonna count this because it's really close. 1, 2. Now we've had 1, 2 touches to the top, 1, 2 touches to the bottom, not including the swing that drops into the channel. We could do that as well. I've generally noticed that it needs 3 touches to the top once it is in that channel. So it needs to try to test those top lines and those bottom lines 3 times before it breaks either way. So just like Bitcoin, we might see this top line at around 1250. 1250 be challenged, and we might see the top line of the wedge be challenged as well. And then we might see a push down towards the midline at 1150 and the bottom line at 1050. So again, going up 100 points, down 100 points, down 100 points. Now we have again support on the MAs. In looking in front of me, this Head and Shoulders is invalidated. Now we have a higher high. We do have what it looks to be like a triple top formation. Let me check. And this triple top formation does have a bearish divergence to it, but we've seen Ethereum pump. Not looking at these like completely going upwards. So once this invalidation line at 1250 is broken and is held, I would be taking my losses. I would be taking my losses as I would with my Bitcoin and my XRP trade that are in similar situations. And I would follow it upwards because maybe this is it. This is the V-shaped recovery. It's not going to be a double bottom for the moment, and we're going to go up to test higher MAs on the higher time frames. So I'll keep you posted during New York session, just to have a look to see where how the lines are met. I am favoring a retracement. These three tops to me scream retracement, so I believe there will be a retracement. It can be a small one to the 382. I would take most profits at that point, and then, or close positions at that point, depending on where you are, and then let it run. And if it breaks the confirmation of the downward move line, that would be a good, and it holds it, that would be a good point to DCA on the short. The same for the invalidation. If it breaks the invalidation line and it holds it, I would take my losses and follow it upwards on the retracement, on the retest. That's it. I'll see you tomorrow. This is where ETH and Bitcoin are at the moment. I'll see you tomorrow for the London session, for the start of the London session.
Thanks, Michaela. Any questions, guys?